It has been more than 6 months since Apple has released the Vision Pro. It's time for a long-term, honest review. Before we get too deep, be sure you're subbed to the channel with those notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest in Apple news. I've been using Vision Pro since launch, so in this honest, extended review, I want to provide a quick overview of the device as it stands today, how my opinions and usage have actually changed, for better or for worse, what visionOS 2 means, and eventually try to evaluate if this device is the flop that so many seem to believe it is. Now, I'm not going to rehash all the specs here again. I did go over all of that in my original coverage, and I encourage you to check that out if you want a more granular look. But hitting the high points, Apple Vision Pro is clearly in the premium end of the mixed reality VR market. It's this polished beauty of carefully woven fabrics, aluminum, and glass that is unlike anything else I've experienced, especially coming from the likes of my Meta Quest or even the PlayStation VR. They're basically just all plastic, which does make them lighter weight. So yes, there are trade-offs, and how you experience those trade-offs will differ, the biggest of which being weight. I can absolutely, without uncertainty, say after 6 months, I can go for hours of wearing Vision Pro without fatigue. Others, I know, don't fare so well in that regard. There are ways to mitigate that fatigue, from the 2 straps that Apple includes to a variety of third-party straps and adapters that have made their way onto the market. As long as I can go 3 hours or so at a time without any strain, I'm happy. And I am. On the front of the device is this 3D piece of glass. It's very cool how they've been able to form this shape. While wearing the device, it can show your eyes, or obscure them based on whether or not you're immersed in an app or an environment. Apple calls this EyeSight, and months later, I still feel like it's irrelevant. There's this lenticular film over the internal display that is supposed to give it depth, but it just makes it fuzzy and highlights the poor resolution. I can't imagine EyeSight in its current incarnation will be sticking around. But if Apple doesn't put a screen there, what will go on the outside? Making it just more aluminum would be adding to the weight and making it even more front heavy. Maybe just the polished glass without the screen? But that seems unnecessarily fragile at that point. For me, the magic of Vision Pro has not worn off. Every time I put it on, I'm just as immersed in it. Sure, spec peepers will say that the field of view is smaller than the competition, but it's still just no comparison. Of the VR or mixed reality headset that I've worn and used, Vision Pro pulls me in like nothing else. Seeing the room around me while I'm wearing it is next level cool, and diving into any of the immersive environments is even better. My favorite is Mount Hood, like by the lake, but I'm also very excited for the beach one coming soon in visionOS 2. More on that in a few. Where I feel kind of mixed emotions about with Vision Pro is the third-party apps. I struggle because in many ways there are a lot of apps. Many iPhone and iPad apps are available here, including my baby monitor, plus all the ones native for Vision Pro. But visionOS doesn't let you easily keep windows open. It seems like every time I put on the Vision Pro again, I have to reopen all of my apps every time. This will be getting fixed to a degree with visionOS 2 again, so that's definitely progress. The other part is I just really wish there was more compelling apps and games. This is clearly not a gaming device by any stretch of the imagination, and it won't be until Apple adds some sort of handheld motion controllers to go with it. Most of the games that I've played so far are basically just iPad games. They're iPad versions of games plopped into some sort of 3D environment or frame. Some actual VR games have made their way here, such as Job Simulator, but my results were mixed. It could track my hands really well, but things like rotating knobs were finicky. I just kept thinking that this would be outstanding if I actually had motion controllers. I think if Apple did have some sort of motion controller here, we'd see a lot more VR style games. But I don't know if gaming is where Apple sees Vision Pro, especially with the head start that Meta, Sony, and others already have in this space. Real quick, while I've got you here, I want to thank our sponsor for this video, VisionFlow, and its new TalkIt app that has just recently launched on Apple Vision Pro. The app has these incredibly cool 3D cities that you can drop into as you progress your way through the challenges laid out in the app. I love watching the cars drive down the road. But while cool, that's not the point of the app. It puts you into real-world situations where you can practice your conversations and learning English. It could be inquiring about a new job, and it coaches you about what questions you should ask as you converse with an AI-powered avatar. You're immersed into a digital world rather than clicking boxes on a screen. You speak in natural language, and TalkIt will respond to you, and each response is graded based on how well you did. After you complete each lesson, you get an overall score and can move on to the next one. So far, there are 3 scenarios in the app, with more sure to be added. It can help preparing for travel, practicing for interviews, and even simulating medical emergencies. I love seeing new ways to use these new technologies that are being used for good, such as improving learning and comprehension. If you've got a Vision Pro, I encourage you to check it out. There's a link for it in the description. In approaching this honest long-term review, I was very interested to adjudicate how my usage and opinions had changed. Especially at launch, I was wearing Vision Pro basically every day. And I will tell you right now, that isn't happening anymore. But maybe not for the reasons you may think. Watching movies and TV shows is still a huge draw for me. I just can't get over how good this is. It's incredible to sit by a lake and watch a film under the stars. I just love it. Disney even recently updated its app with another environment and more 3D movies. Just keep them coming. I'd love to see more 3D movies pile on here. They look so good. Of all the TV or projectors that I have reviewed, without doing a whole home theater setup, you won't get anything this good. Ultimately, I attribute it to 2 primary excuses of why I don't wear this as often as I did. The first reason is my son. That's right, blame the children. This 2-year-old tot has the energy of 5 Red Bull seemingly coursing through him. And if there's one thing that I've learned having a kid, is that you will basically never sit for more than a few minutes at a time, ever again. It did eventually become burdensome to remove Vision Pro to assist him in whatever he needed. Sometimes I tried to leave it on my head, but I almost felt nauseous running through the hallways after him while wearing it. And trying to change a diaper with it seemed ill-advised. As much as I'd like to wear it more, it's more trouble than it's worth sometimes. Using Vision Pro was relegated to at night when he was asleep or when I was using it for work. Which brings me to my second reason, productivity with my Mac. This is something that was frankly hard for me to admit to myself. It wasn't as productivity boosting as I wanted it to be. I did a whole video on how it did help with productivity, but ultimately it fell short. It helps when I'm not working at my desk, but I soon felt cramped by the single monitor it gave me. I initially supplemented this with native visionOS apps, but really what I needed was a second Mac monitor. Or I guess just more space in general. It was too confined, and my specific workflow didn't lend itself well to this. The good news is, once again, visionOS 2 is promising a huge upgrade here. With visionOS 2, there's a bunch of new features. You'll be able to choose your extended screen size when mirroring, going between standard, wide, and ultra-wide. Ultra-wide will be the equivalent of 2 4K monitors side by side, and sounds like exactly what I've been looking for. I'm beyond excited for this, though it won't be available in visionOS 2.0, but is scheduled to ship by the year's end. Another big change with visionOS 2 is the home button. I found it got tedious to go to the home screen after a while because you had to look up to Control Center and then tap the home button there, or use your hands to press it on the headset. visionOS 2 introduces a new gesture. Just by looking at your hand, you can tap your fingers to open the home screen. It looks incredibly intuitive, and the animation and tracking look fantastic. Right now, visionOS 2 is in beta, so I can't give you much about what it's like to use this until after it's released. One more thing that I'm excited for with visionOS 2 though is the ability to make any photo into a spatial image. These could be pics that you took on your Nikon, on your iPhone, or even just downloaded from the web. A single tap somehow magically transforms them into 3D photos. Reactions from around the web seem to agree that this is amazingly cool. I've loved watching spatial videos of my son, and I'm going to fawn all over the 3D photos too. As an aside, I do get annoyed that spatial videos shot on my iPhone 15 Pro Max are limited to 1080p. Like Apple is like cropping in that ultra-wide sensor, and there's not a good enough resolution. So the videos, they aren't high enough resolution, and they do look grainy on playback. Rumors say that the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max will introduce a new 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, which will allow for this 4K spatial resolution. If that's true, all the more reason for me to upgrade, but you know I was going to do that anyway. This all brings me to, where does Apple Vision Pro stand? Many people seem to steadfastly believe that it has been an unabashed failure for Apple. I saw so many people alleging that the return levels were astronomical and that sales had plummeted. To be clear, initial return levels were very much in line with Apple's other product categories, and Apple doesn't release sales numbers, so anything reported is pure speculation or supply chain inferences. What's important is to define what Apple's goal here is with Vision Pro. My interpretation of that is that they set out to release a device that showed the future of how they saw computing. This is clearly a high-end device meant to engage with early adopters and get developers' feet wet before a more mass-market model. And that's in the short term, before something like Apple Glasses that can blend the real world with the digital world without having such a large device strapped to your face. This is the long game here, people, and I truly believe that Vision Pro has done exactly what Apple wanted it to do. I think if you take Vision Pro, keep iterating on the software, grow the app catalog, and drop the price on a new model, you're going to have a lot more people wearing these. Then, in the long term, everything Apple has built will move to an even more futuristic device a fraction of this size. It's very exciting to think about, especially when you consider Apple Intelligence implications. Rumors do say Apple's planning on adding Apple Intelligence to Vision Pro. It's just taking time to get it all right. Maybe visionOS 3? Look, Vision Pro is still very expensive. There's no getting around that, and I'm certainly not recommending everyone go out and buy one of these. It's a personal device, so adjudicating it is just as personal. It's viewed through my lens as someone who loves working on his Mac, is a first-time dad to a crazy toddler, and absolutely loves TV and film. I do think it was worth the investment for me, and I very much enjoyed it. I think it's only getting better, and I don't think it was a failure. But what do you all think? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.